Hi, I'm Jennifer Ray, and this is my team, Group 1. As the group leader, I'm excited to present to you my fellow team leaders in our project, Explore Macon. Thank you. We hope you enjoy our presentation.
Hi, I am Larry Hollingsworth, and I am the project manager for Group 1.
Hello, I am Shay Darsaw, and I am the research team leader for Group 1.
Hello, I am Anthony Franciulli, and I am the editing team leader for Group 1.
Hello, I'm Patrick Sims, and I'm the programming team leader for Group 1.
We created Explore Macon as a way to help Middle Georgia State University students find things to do off campus. We have all been the new freshmen in the dorms before, who had no idea what to do during their off time. Instead of searching all over the internet and sifting through thousands of results that may or may not interest them, Explore Macon shows students businesses and places of interest relevant to them. We hope that this project will inspire students to get out, meet people, and refresh themselves. A rejuvenated student is a good student, and we hope that our project will give students a tool to make sure that they do not get burnt out. Follow along as we demonstrate how Explore Macon works.
Hello, and welcome to our demonstration of Explore Macon for Middle Georgia State University. Explore Macon is the final project for Group 1 in Dr. Scott Spengler's Spring Semester 2016 online Senior Capstone course. The goal of the project is to create an interactive map to be used by students who are searching for points of interest in the city that surrounds their MGSU campus. As you can see, we have branded the site to match the standard page headers and footers present on all Middle Georgia State University web pages. For the scope of the project for this first iteration of Explore Macon, we decided to focus on a smaller area of Macon, Georgia, the downtown area on and around Cherry Street. When the page first loads, the map is already focused on this area, and you can see that there are quite a few points of interest to choose from. The Explore Macon site is built on the Google Maps engine, so the controls are the same as viewing a map in Google Maps. You can zoom in to see greater detail and zoom out to see a larger area. On a computer, you can do this by scrolling up and down with the scroll wheel on a mouse, or by using the plus and minus buttons on the map itself. On the mobile platform, which we'll take a look at a bit later, the map can be zoomed out by pinching two fingers together on the screen, and zoomed in by moving two fingers apart on the screen. The map can be repositioned on the screen by either clicking and dragging with the mouse on a computer, or by tapping and dragging on a mobile platform. Because zooming a Google Map with a Mac computer trackpad or mouse can be tricky, it may be better to use Google Maps keyboard shortcuts to zoom the map when using a Mac. Pressing the combination of the Command key and the plus key will cause the map view to zoom in. Combining the Command key and the minus key will zoom the map back out. Quite a few businesses and points of interest are plotted on the Explore Macon map. Any of these map points can be clicked in order to see more information about that location in a pane on the left-hand side of the map. This information includes the name of the business or point of interest and its address. A phone number, website address, customer reviews, and photos may also be provided, if applicable. There is also a hyperlink to view that specific location's entry in Google Maps in a new browser window or tab. This gives the user the opportunity to see even more information, such as the operating hours of the business, and to click a button to get directions that are available for different modes of transport, such as driving, public transit, walking, and cycling. If the user has a mobile device connected to Google Maps, there is also the option to send the location to that device. On the mobile platform, the entry may open in the Google Maps app instead, if it is installed. If the Explore Macon page is loaded from within the mga.edu site, in the top left-hand corner of the map is a button with an arrow pointing to the right. This button appears directly to the left of the Explore Macon title in the map's title bar. Clicking or tapping this button opens the map's legend or key in a navigation pane along the left-hand side of the screen. Here we can see the 7 different navigation layers of the map that correspond with the 7 different categories of location. The entries for each category share the same map symbol or map point color. For instance, all of the restaurants have a red map point symbol, and all of the ATMs show the letters ATM in yellow for their symbol. The map's other categories are shopping, which includes several retail establishments, entertainment, including theaters and clubs, specialty, which includes a salon and tattoo parlor among its entries, education, including a location for Georgia College and State University, and services, such as offices for the IRS, DMV, and the Macon Transit Authority, which can provide students with information on how to use public transit to easily and affordably travel between the MGSU Macon campus and the downtown area featured in Explore Macon. By scrolling up and down in this navigation pane, students can see the names of each location under a specific category. This way, if the student wants to find a specific type of place, they only have to scroll to that category name and then expand it if needed by clicking the caret or down arrow sort of button, or by clicking the text that indicates that there are more entries to be seen in that category. The map location symbols for entries in all of the categories in the left-hand pane are displayed at the same time by default. By unchecking the box next to a category name, the map location symbols for that category will not be displayed. In this way, if a student wants to only see, for instance, the restaurants and entertainment venues on the map, the other categories can be unchecked, leaving only those 2 with visible map location symbols. This can make it easier for students to quickly find just those things that they are interested in. Furthermore, each of the location names in the navigation pane can also be clicked in order to display more information about that location and also center the map's display on that point of interest. To go back to the Map Legend navigation bar from one of these information listings, simply click or tap the left arrow that appears to the left next to the location's name. In the top right corner of the map, in the title bar, there is a Share button which allows the map to be shared via Google+, Facebook, Twitter, or email, or even embedded on another web page using the embed code that is provided when that option is selected. In this way, students can easily share the map with each other or even their non-student friends via social networking. With the use of this option, Explore Macon could extend its reach and helpfulness even further to those who might not have occasion to use the mga.edu site. To the right of the Share button is the View Larger Map button, which looks like the corner brackets of a rectangle. Clicking on this button opens the entire Explore Macon site in Google Maps in a new browser window or tab. On the mobile platform, this will open the map either in the Google Maps app if it is installed, or in a new browser window or tab. Either way, when this is done, Explore Macon loses its MGA-branded page header and footer. Here, in a new Google Maps browser tab, we see that the previous navigation options are retained and now expanded upon. The button at the top left that shows a stack of 3 short horizontal bars can be clicked to access options such as Create New Map, Open Map, and Google Drive. The button that looks like a magnifying glass can be clicked to open a search box, which allows you to search the map. For example, typing in pizza gives one result from the Explore Macon map entries, and then several more from Google at large. The button that looks like a stack of 3 dots presents options such as Map Details, Print Map, and Embed Map. There are a few differences when a mobile device is used to access Explore Macon. First, let's take a look at Explore Macon in action on an iPhone 6. We'll open up our browser to see Explore Macon in our browser window. It looks about the same as it did before, only smaller. We can zoom in and out with our plus and minus buttons on the screen, and the share button gives us the same share options as we saw before. Let's change to landscape mode. You can see a lot more of the map this way. We can open the navigation pane by tapping the button on the left-hand side. In our navigation pane, we can scroll up and down to see the same categories that we saw earlier and uncheck items to hide them from the map. We'll uncheck everything except restaurants in order to find a place to eat. We'll zoom in by moving 2 fingers apart on the screen. And there's the Rookery. Let's tap there and take a look. We can see information like the address, phone number, and website address. If we tap to take a look at the map in full screen, it will open up in the Google Maps app instead of a new browser tab. Here we see our navigation key again with the same list of categories and places. Go back to the map itself. We can zoom in just as before. Let's tap on the Rookery again. This time the information is at the bottom. Let's click on directions. If your GPS is enabled, you can use your current location as your starting point. Otherwise, you'll need to type in an address. As you can see, the application takes what you are typing and tries to auto-complete and go ahead and locate your starting location. Looks like we'll need to actually type in the word Macon in order to find what we're looking for. Once the application locates the place you want to start from, simply choose that location and you will see your directions listed. By default, it starts out with driving directions. It shows you a few different routes and approximately how long it will take to get from point A to point B. You can also choose a different method of transport altogether, for example, cycling by typing the picture of the bicycle. Again, we can see the route outlined on the map and the approximate ETA. Next, let's take a look at Explore Macon in action on an iPad Air 2 tablet. We'll open our browser again to see Explore Macon within our browser window. It should look familiar by now. We can zoom in and zoom out with the plus and minus buttons. The share button again opens the same options that we've seen before. The navigation pane opens with the navigation button on the left. We can see our categories again by scrolling up and down in the navigation pane. Let's close the navigation pane. We can zoom in and let's tap on the Rookery again. We see the same information that we've seen before. In landscape view, again, the map is easier to read and shows more at a time. In the navigation pane, we can tap 22 more at the bottom of restaurants. And there's the Rookery. If we tap on the name, it shows us the same information as when we tap on the map point. If we tap View in Google Maps, the location opens centered in the Google Maps app with the information already showing. If we turn our device back into portrait mode, that information disappears at the bottom, but it can be quickly pulled back up again. We can see the address for the location, a phone number, the open and close hours, and if we look even further, we can see some photos, a smaller map of the detailed location, and we can also read some reviews from here. Let's take a look at those photos. You can get a better idea of what sort of food the Rookery serves. We can make our decision about whether or not we want to eat there. Let's close out of that. Takes us back to the information, and we can also open Google Street View. If you're navigating to a location for the first time, Google Street View will let you see what that location looks like if you're standing on the street. This makes it easier to find the location while you're navigating. Close out of Street View, it takes us back to our information, which is generated by Google Maps. Close that and go back to the map itself. It is our sincere hope as team members of Group 1 that our Explore Macon project can and will be utilized by both current and prospective students to help them become more familiar with the city that they will be spending so much time in as they pursue academic excellence at Middle Georgia State University. There is, in fact, life outside of classes, however, and being able to find things to do and see outside of the campus can help our students to become more well-rounded citizens and productive members of the community.
Exploring Macon.
Good.
It looks like it's it looks like it's kind of a list of places to eat as well as they're color coded. No, they're not. Wait, yeah, they are. Cool. So they're color coded. So I'm guessing blue is like art galleries, fashion, jewelry. Okay. And then red is food. Wow, there's a lot of food places I didn't know. And then blue is that was a fashion one. And then purple is salon stuff? No, because there's a food code.
So now that we have presented our project, let's take a quick review of the Explore Macon website. Why we chose this project. We put our heads together and designed a capstone project that could benefit the Middle Georgia State University student body. We noticed that there was a need for students to get a feel for their college campus surroundings. This application can also be used to show the prospective students what the area around MGSU is like. How we did it. User and business questionnaires. We examined two websites that had similar features as the website we were looking to build. The user questionnaire had the following questions and test points, including demographic type questions such as name, age, and gender. We then asked what the user thought about the website at first glance and what they thought it may be used for. Next, we asked the user to perform 3 tasks, including find a place to shop, a restaurant, and a coffee shop at which to study. The research team also asked several local businesses their thoughts about the project. The UTA testing proved to be invaluable information for improving the initial design. The prototyping process involved taking 2 rounds of UTA testing and applying the suggested changes to the Explore Macon website. The programming team worked hard to implement the changes stated in the UTA testing phase. The school IT department also agreed to host the developing project. However, it is important to bear in mind that the project is ongoing and still has room to improve. The future of the project. There is much that can be added to the Explore Macon website, including more locations, a larger area focus, and the possibility of other campuses having their own unique map for their city. As with any project, there are always some risk involved. The Explore Macon project risks include potential for students to spend less time studying and/or the potential to be mistreated in the way of customer service at any of the said venues listed. We would like to thank you for your time and interest in the Explore Macon project. As the founders of the project, the Spring 2016 iTech 4750 Group 1 is excited and looks forward to the future changes the site will experience as new groups build upon the idea.